Welcome to AYE Meet Andrew. I'm Cindy Tai, and I'll be your host for the day. We're very honored to have Andrew Schmidt, the youngest Amway VP, with us on stage today. And he is going to share with us some very good information about you, how to be a successful man. And Andrew, he is actually very similar to Facebook co-founder Mark Zuckerberg in 3 very important ways. 1, they're both 32 years old. 2, they're both very good dads. And 3, they both achieved great success very early. And Andrew is going to share with us his secret to success later. So listen up. Let's show him some hands and welcome Andrew onto the stage. Welcome, Andrew. Hi, Andrew. Why don't you say hi to the audience?
Ni hao, hello. Thank you, Cindy, thank you.
Hello, everybody. And also we have 3 outstanding AYE members here with us on stage. Andrea.
Hi, I'm Andrea.
And Jasmine.
Hi, I'm Jasmine.
And Julian.
Hello, guys. I'm Julian.
Let's welcome everybody.
I'm so excited to be here to talk with all the AYE members. This is such an awesome opportunity.
Right, I'm sure you have a lot to share with us.
I'll do my best.
Well, you know, like partners here are also very excited about your visit, and they all want to learn more about you, how you become so successful. So why don't you start from telling everyone about your background, your job content, and everything?
Okay, yeah, I'd be happy to do that. You know, I have to start by saying the comparison to Mark Zuckerberg is flattering, if not perhaps a little bit exaggerated.
You're better looking.
Oh, you're too kind. My Mandarin is much worse than his, although my wife doesn't speak it, so I will forgive myself for lacking those capabilities. So I do work in the global sales organization in Ada, Michigan. I've been with Amway for 4 years. Although my work with Amway predates that by 3 years. I actually first worked with Amway as a consultant, and that's actually how I started my career. So I've been very fortunate as a consultant and with Amway to work for companies all around the world and to get to experience working with different cultures. I actually lived in Japan for 2 years. And so it may sound a little bit odd, but I sometimes feel at home when I come to Asia. And I look around and see so many people that don't look like me. I definitely enjoy the food in this part of the world more than anywhere else. So it's great to be back in Taipei.
Good to have you back.
Yeah. So my current role is I work in global sales focused on ABO incentives. Compensation programs and reward trips. So I think I have literally the coolest job at Amway because I get to spend all my time thinking about how to put more money into your pockets, which I believe most ABOs think is a good thing. So
yeah, everybody thinks it's a good thing.
Yeah, not just ABOs, right? So it's great to be with you here today. It's great to be with all of you, and I'm so honored and excited to have this discussion.
But you know, like you are in the high position in Amway. You're vice president there, and you're only 32. Consider your age. It's very hard to manage people older than you, isn't it?
Well, it definitely presents a different challenge. You know, I have to tell a small joke. My current boss, the first time I met him, one of the first times I met him, we were out to dinner with my boss at the time, and my current boss said to my boss at the time, I have shirts older than Andrew. And now he's my boss. So yeah, it's definitely an interesting experience. But at the same time, I find that no matter your age, people respect sincerity, people respect authenticity.
Right.
And so what I try to do with everyone who either works on my team or my peers or my uplines is to treat them with sincerity, to be authentic, be who I am, and I find that generates respect.
Well, we also have 3 AYE members here with us on stage, and they all have questions for you. Everyone is very curious about you. But due to our limited time, so each of our AYE members on stage can only ask you 1 or 2 questions today. I'm sorry. So why don't we start with Julian?
Hi, Andrew. As we know, you majored in biomedical engineering at Duke University. And you choose a career relevant to business or marketing strategy. It's quite a big shifting. How you make this decision? And is there any challenge you have to face in your job? And how to balance your life between works and your family? Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you for that question. I did study engineering in college, and I found out toward the end of college that I probably made the wrong choice because I did not enjoy engineering. And so what I realized I enjoyed was trying to solve challenging problems. So I was very fortunate to be able to use those skills in the business world. Right. And I think that actually has really given me a great foundation of skills for the business world. But yeah, there's definitely challenges I face all the time in my role. And I think that one of the things I would try to convey is that no matter what level you're at in any business, the Amway business, a traditional business, or even non-businesses, that the most important thing is just to be honest about your strengths and honest about your areas of weakness. Right. And to focus on maximizing your strengths and to be aware of your weaknesses, because everyone has strengths and weaknesses. It doesn't matter how experienced you are. And I think that would be my main way of answering that question.
Right, so just be true to yourself is the key.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, and I said earlier, I love the word authenticity. I don't know how that translates into Chinese.
真诚.
Yeah.
真诚.
But to me, that's such an important trait that honestly not everyone has. Too many people are trying to be something they're not, right. And most people can see through that.
Right. Okay. Okay. Well, I think Jasmine has a question for you too, because we have,
Hi, Andrew.
Hi, Jasmine.
We know that you have experience working overseas, and now you are working at business strategy as a VP in multinational company, and your success is very admirable to us. According to your observations and experience in the past, can you tell us what is the trait of successful under 35, and what is in common as between Amway leaders and the young people in other market in the business? What is the advantage of Amway young leaders? Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, that's a great question. I think the thing that I would highlight from my observations is that generally successful people, and this is true at young ages and old ages, have a high degree of ambition, that they want to succeed, that they have a drive to succeed. But that alone is not sufficient, that ambition needs to be balanced by a degree of modesty or a degree of appropriate understanding of one's abilities. And that's actually a really powerful combination. Because there are lots of people who are ambitious, but they may have unrealistic expectations for what they can actually achieve. It's those who are ambitious that are balanced with those realistic expectations and realistic understandings of their strengths that I think ultimately prove to be the most successful. And I would definitely say that's true for some of the successful young ABO leaders I've met all over the world. They are striving for great things, but they also realize how much they have still to learn and how much they can learn from not just other ABO leaders, but people in other walks of life. So that combination of ambition with a healthy acknowledgement of how much anyone can still learn, I think is just such a potent combination.
Right, and also we have to put in a lot of efforts to be successful. Like Andrew said before we filmed, he said he works 11 hours every day, also during weekends.
Yeah, well, not during every weekend, but it is true that no great accomplishment happens without significant effort, and that's true in the Amway business just as much as it's true in any other walk of life.
True. Okay, I think Andrea, she's ready for her next question.
Oh, I have a question for you. According to the market research, young people in Taiwan have a very high intention of starting their own business, such as little coffee shop or breakfast joint. But on the contrary, when we introduce them the Amway opportunity, the optimum business platform is not very easily accepted. I want to know, what is it like in other countries? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Andrea. So that's a great question, and the same challenge that you face here in Taiwan is faced by many of your peers all around the world. I think that I don't have the answer. I haven't necessarily done disciplined research on why, but my observation would be that whether we like it or not, I think that generally speaking, people are skeptical of things that seem too good to be true, or things that are positioned as good in general. I think people are trained, and I think the world continues to train us that we should be skeptical of things that we can't verify or that we haven't verified. And so I think that whether we like it or not, just creates a world in which when you're trying to share the opportunity with someone, it's likely that you're going to face some degree of skepticism as kind of that initial response. And that's just the reality of the world that we live in. I think that's why when you first build a relationship with someone, whether that be through whatever type of interaction you would be having with that person, a social interaction, a professional interaction, a familial interaction, that once you've built that relationship and then you share the opportunity, there's probably a higher likelihood that you would get initial success because they have a reason to trust what you're saying. And so one of the things that we find to be the most successful practice by ABOs around the world is those who build a community around interest or around shared hobbies or passions, and build Amway into that community. And so it's not just a cold connection, it's already a warm connection that breaks down that inherent skepticism that is just a reality of the world that we live in.
Right. Well, okay. So the key is everyone needs to be passionate about their job or what they're doing. Okay. And I think Jasmine also loves her job, and she's going to have more questions for you.
Yeah, Andrew. Most importantly, we would like to know how Amway development strategy targeting the young people market currently, as well as in the future. And as young people building Amway business in Taiwan, we really want to know how Amway will help them build their Amway business currently.
Yeah, great question,
Thank
Jasmine.
you.
Yeah, let me answer that. So I would highlight 3 things that I think are relevant to speak to how we are trying to make the Amway business more attractive for the next generation of leaders. And this is true all around the world, but also true in Taiwan. So the first would be, and this is where I spend most of my time thinking, attractive incentives, both bonuses and other types of incentives like trips and benefits that really resonate with our generation. So not necessarily what resonated with past generations, but what resonates with our generation. The second thing that we're doing is we're constantly looking at our products. We're constantly looking at whether or not we have the right products to attract people like all of you and to help you attract other people. So that's an area that we're putting a lot of investment into, continuing to renovate and rejuvenate our product portfolio. And then the third area is what I would call business tools. Things that make your life as a distributor easier, whether it's selling product to someone, or whether it's showing the plan, or whether it's hosting a meeting, or whether it's managing your information kind of personally about your business or about your schedule. It's creating tools that are built for your life and that are built for 2017, not for 1995. So those 3 things: incentives, product, and tools.
Okay, is anyone taking notes right now? You better write those things down. Well, I think Julian has another question for you. Okay. And that'll be the last question on stage.
Yeah, last but not least.
No.
As Amway founders, Rich DeVos say, a good leader always cheer up people. Yeah. So is there any good news from Ada or anything you can share to cheer us and our young ABO up? Thank you very much.
Give us some inspiration.
Yeah. I see nothing but good news in the Amway world. Maybe that's a little overly optimistic, but no, there are so many exciting things going on in the Amway world. And let me turn your question around for a second, because I spend about 50% of my time out of Ada in the markets like this. And what I find is that time when I am in the markets with ABOs like all of you, I find myself so much more energized and so much more excited. And I carry that back to Ada, to my colleagues, and I think it really, and not just me, but all of the other Amway employees who are visiting the markets, we can bring back the excitement that all of you have for the business, and it positively infects what we do at Ada to serve and support all of you. But to answer your question, what can I say as a positive comment around looking ahead to the future? So this next distributor year, the year that starts in September, marks our 60th anniversary. And so it's pretty remarkable that this little company from Ada, Michigan that Rich and Jay built will be turning 60 years old next year. I don't know what it's like to turn 60. Most of the people in this room don't know what it's like to turn 60. I want to get there someday, but not for another many, many years. The incentives and the celebration that we're putting around the 60th anniversary, I think, is going to be tremendously exciting. We're hosting a major event for distributors all over the world, one single event, and perhaps maybe you had heard about what we did for the 50th celebration 8 years ago, but we set records in terms of how many people we transported to Las Vegas for that event and the size and scale of that party, and we intend to make everyone forget about the 50th anniversary with what we're going to do for the 60th. And I think the most exciting thing is that we're going to use that 60th anniversary to catapult the business to another 60 years, so that someday when all of us are old and gray and tired, the next generation of people is going to be excited about that next anniversary milestone. So I say onward to the 60th and onward beyond that.
Thank you very much.
Ooh, nice one. Well, thank you for your information, and we have all learned a lot from you through our Q&A session. But right now, we only have a little bit of time for our audience off stage. So if anyone off stage are the global sales, if you have any questions, please ask. Any questions for Andrew? You want to raise your hand? Okay. 这个先生戴眼镜的先生想问 Andrew 问题。
Hi Andrew, just a quick question. Amway is a multinational company with a history of 58 years, and you are still so young. At this age, many people tend to start their own business or join a new startup company. What do you see in Amway that makes you choose to work for the company? Thank you.
Yeah, great question. So one of the things that attracted me to Amway, and I said earlier I was a consultant before I joined Amway, was the culture of the workplace at Amway. So I had the good fortune of getting to work with many large companies all around the world, mostly American companies, but many large companies. And the culture at every company is different. And the culture at Amway is one that is built on the values that Rich and Jay instilled into the business: freedom, family, hope, reward. And those values that we live and that all of you live really make for what I consider to be a wonderful workplace. And so I was fortunate to get exposed to that, such that I was attracted to it and chose to join it. I guess perhaps getting to your question of why joining a big company like Amway as opposed to taking an entrepreneurial jump, I was just very fortunate to be in a position where I was exposed to something that really excited me. Who knows? Maybe my entrepreneurial experience will happen later in life. So.
Okay. Anyone else has questions for Andrew? Raise your hand. Okay. 这白色衣服先生。
Hello, Andrew. I just wondering, why you choose to work as an Amway staff member instead an IBO? Have you ever thought about becoming an IBO or ABO?
So you're not the first person to ask me that question. So have I thought about it? Sometimes, but honestly, one of the things that I think about a lot with my job, and I think it's true for not just me, but really for anyone in any profession and any job, is, do you have satisfaction and fulfillment in what you're doing? And I've always been tremendously fortunate in that I have felt that I have been fulfilled by the work that I'm doing. I find it intellectually stimulating, I find it rewarding, I find myself enjoying the work that I do. And what I have found meeting Amway ABOs or IBOs all over the world is that usually they join the Amway business because whatever they happen to be doing was not fulfilling, was not satisfactory. And so I guess I just consider myself very fortunate that I was in a position where I found something that was fulfilling. And now what I find fulfilling is supporting all of you, enabling your business, creating incentive programs that are motivating and attractive for you. So has the thought crossed my mind? Yes, usually because I get asked a great question like that. But I think that I'm doing the best thing for me, and I hope that you're doing the best thing for you. And I think the power of us working together is the beauty of this business.
Right, so about choices， 就是大家都要扮演自己不同的角色，而且每个人呢在人生阶段都会做出不同的选择。谁知道他之后会不会变成 ABO 呢？说不定他会把他的工作辞去，然后加入大家的阵容，也不一定，对不对 ？So thank you very much, Andrew, for showing up here and share all this great information with us. It's very honored to have you here today with us. Just hope that you come back next time more often, or stay longer at least.
I will.
Okay.
Yeah, next time I will stay longer.
Okay, and thank 3 of our outstanding AYE members here on stage, and thank our audience. I'm Cindy Tai. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.